Oh, guys, what an episode they've just done with Glenn Wool there. Hilarious.
What a ledge.
Yeah, comedy
Hilarious.
legend. Come in, spent his time with us on his way home from Blackpool.
He's been going
Ages.
yonks, hasn't he?
Yeah, we spoke about coming up in Canada, all his time spent in Asia, like Japan, China and all stuff like that. Spoke a lot about lamb cutlets and about Barbara
Glenn
Streisand.
sure does love lamb cutlets.
Mate, if there's anything Glenn Wool loves more than anything,
More than his kids.
it's lamb cutlets.
It's lamb.
But before we get into that hilarious episode, we're here to tell you about Patreon. As always, £3 a month. You get loads.
Is that all?
Just £3. You get access to all the back catalogue on there, which is loads of extra episodes. You've got 13, 14 live shows up to now. One of them's had a Swingers. We've had a two-part special interviewing Swingers. If you ever wanted to know what goes on in the Swingers house, we've been in. We've done all the dirty work for you.
Someone
Go
tried
check that
to
out.
get you up there, didn't they?
Yep. Someone tried to suck me off there. It was fun.
There's a man called Bebcob.
Shout out Beb Cub.
Shout out.
Offer still stands. There's loads on there. We've got like Sports Day. There's going to be the Burlesque that's coming up. Great British Bake Off. Loads of stuff on there. Extra episode every week. You get 7 days early access to public episodes as well. So you could have been seeing this last week. You could have been laughing at lamb cutlets last week. But instead,
Audio listeners, I've got a little puppy in my hands, and if you sign up to Patreon, you get to see our little puppies.
as well, yeah. And-
who doesn't love puppies?
And the more you pay, the more you get as well. So if you pay £5 or £10, you get prints. You can get signed prints, discounts on merch. £10 get a free live show ticket every week, every month. So you can come down and watch the chaos in person. You also get early access to the live show tickets and any shows that we're going to put on as well. But yeah, go sign up. I know it's cost of living and that. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Just spread the word, spread the love. Tell your mates. Put us in your group chats. See any clips. Share them for us. Just spread it. We're just trying to grow out here, and we're doing our best, aren't we?
Yeah.
Lovely
There's
stuff.
a drought on, but we're still
We're still
know.
clambering through. And if you want to sign up for just sign up for 1 month, watch everything, fuck off. You're welcome to do that as well. No, no rules over here.
£3 just once in a year. Binge everything.
Binge everything. Do all that. So yeah, go sign up to that. Patreon.com/The Mild High Club. Help support us, help us grow. See where we go with this
See you
thing.
over there.
See you later.
Get all the in-jokes.
Enjoy this episode.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
It's the Mile High Club. It's the Mile High Club. It's the Mile High Club. It's the Mile High Club.
Hello.
We're back. Joined this week by comedy legend Glenn Wool, everybody.
Hello.
It's Ray.
We had a bit of an interesting chat there. I want to bring this up
Yeah.
because we were talking about like you can't say anything anymore because of Google. Because you said like, what was Barbara Streisand's cloned their dog?
She clones her dog every time it dies. She gets an exact clone of another, the exact one.
Yeah.
And
So then you were like, check that because I might have made it up.
Yeah.
So we are going to check it in a sec. But then we
How'd
went
you
on
make
to
a
say about
clone?
like, wait there 1 sec. When we said about like pubs in the 90s, you could just say whatever you want. So people go, oh, that's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
that, and it couldn't Google it. What did you say after that?
Well, that's why I assume that the last lie that the pub liar now goes to is I was in the SAS.
Yeah. 'cause you-
Because you cannot Google that.
which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the last thing they can go to, like only things,
Yeah.
ungoogleable things.
What we
Jay from
should
the In-Betweeners has been in the SAS a bit.
Yeah.
what we should do is start a registry of people who definitely weren't in the SAS.
Oh, so you could just Google
yeah,
their name. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's not. They never only tell it once.
Yeah. Sign up to this if you weren't in the SAS. Like, yeah.
You found it, James?
I found the article here. Barbara Streisand had her dog Samantha cloned twice.
Twice.
Barbara Streisand has revealed that her two puppies, Miss Violet and Miss Scarlet, are actually clones. This is the breed of dog, apologies if I'm saying this wrong, the Coton de Tulare died in 2017.
Got a French t-shirt on as well. Oh,
Yeah.
oui.
Dankeschön. Cells were taken from her mouth and stomach.
Oh, weird.
That's weird. That how much is it to clone? Will you have a look?
Yeah.
Would you clone that? No, I was
I would
so
just,
naughty.
like, it's not like it's easy to get the same breed of dog though. Like,
Yeah.
Is it you cannot get French bulldogs now? The things you have to do. To
Surely
get a
it's
French
cheaper
bulldog.
as well, isn't it?
Do they have the
to
same
get buy another one.
personality? I feel like surely it'd be a bit ditzier.
That'll probably go into like nature versus nurture, innit? Like
Well,
if they had different personalities or not. Because if it's a clone, if it's a exact replica by the cells or whatever, then technically it should have the
I
same.
feel like it'd be missing a bit of something though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be weird
Yeah.
if it still knew the same tricks.
Yeah.
Just instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd do that if like all you like
Just
it's
didn't
like
have to teach them
saving
again.
your
Yeah. Just didn't have to teach them, so they just come out as a puppy and instantly know to go
but
back
a
outside.
really
and-
mature puppy. Like,
Yeah.
But it's mad, isn't it? Like spiders know how to make webs just instinctively. It's like
yeah.
muscle memory, something.
Yeah, because apparently there's a thing called chemical memory, isn't there? That's like passed down. And there was a thing of like, I don't know if it was in slugs. I know it sounds weird. And they'd like do this trail and there'd be like poison at one end or food on the other. And then they ground up the slugs and fed them to other slugs. And then the slugs went to where the food was straight away rather than another way.
Our dog's like a big slug.
So they're saying that's like chemical memory, but I don't know how. I haven't really
feel
looked
bad
into
for
it, to be
those.
honest.
The scientists who did it, they're probably like in the middle of the thing going, okay, next time we're going to test a faster animal.
Yeah, 10-year experiment. It could have been done easily in 2 minutes.
Yeah, next time a rhesus monkey or something, a speedy thing.
Yeah. Oh, mad.
Have you found out, James?
So it costs $50,000 to clone a dog, which
God.
transferred into pound sterling, £40,130.
£40,000.
So yeah, it's pretty penny if you want to.
And a great way to attract dog nappers. I bet you she's real happy that everybody knows her dog's worth 50 grand.
50
now.
grand because it's a clone. Oh, that's mad, isn't it?
Although, what a great thing to say to a kidnapper.
Yeah.
You know, I got your dog. I've got science.
yeah, you can have it. It's fine. It's worthless now. Here's the new one.
I'm Barbara fucking Streisand. You don't think I got 50 grand?
You don't think I've got my dog's cells frozen somewhere?
Yeah. I got 25 grand to hire a guy to kill you.
Yeah.
Are you a dog man?
I love dogs. Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't have one, but
No?
well, it's my wife. It's her call because she's at home much more. I'm on the road a lot, so I'm totally open to it. And she's just waiting until our youngest gets a little older. She's 2 right now, but yeah, puppies will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were saying to Mark Nelson he should get a parrot because then he can take it on the road with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no one's ever done that, have they? We were like, no, you could do that, yeah.
I think you have a romantic view of people with parrots because you only ever see shots of them from the front. You don't see the parrot shit down their back. Like I imagine the pirate that, it was cool to have him, but you know, please, John, don't sit in my chair.
Yeah, no one ever tells him because they're scared of him either. He doesn't even know. Like,
Yeah, there was something about his personality that made him get a bird to talk to in the first place. You know? He was weirding out even the pirates. So.
Dean comes from pirates.
Oh yeah, we're back on this story. I've told this story too many times, innit?
Yeah.
I found out that my dad's cousin was like essentially a pirate.
Awesome.
They used to rob like safes off ships and stuff, and then they got loads. They got about £1.5 million, and then ended up getting caught and going to jail.
What year?
Like the 80s or something.
That's the thing everybody forgets.
Yeah.
Like pirates are still out there.
Yeah.
They're not, and I don't know why they're not really leaning into it because the view of pirates now, it's like, oh, terrible. They're getting on the. But if they were dressed like pirates, I think people would be like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, like
jolly.
proper Captain Hook kind of pirates rocking up.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
mad.
So have you been, Glenn?
Oh, wonderful.
Where do you live?
I live in Suffolk,
Suffolk.
in a little town, about a half hour out of Ipswich, but into the countryside.
Nice. Sounds nice. I've never
Sounds
been.
nicer than
Yeah,
ours.
it's great. And this time of year, boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
when spring springs in the countryside,
Yeah,
it's just
lovely.
lovely.
Oh, I like it. So my new interview technique is about seeing what drink you choose. You went for a latte.
Yeah.
I didn't make this one. A man in the shop made it. What do you think of the latte? Have you tried it?
It was delicious.
It's a nice shot, that bean, isn't it? I had probably one of the best flapjacks I've ever had in my life, which is a mad sentence to say.
You guys were moaning like you were in a Mexican whorehouse. I've never seen...
Like when Harry met Sally and Bean.
I know, yeah. Well,
over a flapjack.
You attracted her attention by your like, oh, like that. And she went, ooh. Dear Lord.
Honestly, it was such a... Amy didn't even want any. Amy doesn't even like flapjacks, and I gave her one, and she went, "Oh my, yeah, it is nice." I think that was your...
isn't it?
I think that was your reaction
It's
more
like
than
a
anything.
solid gruel.
Like you had an actual nice flapjack for once. I think that was more your reaction.
I just
than,
couldn't believe it tasted so nice.
Yeah, it was just pure butter. It was amazing.
It was dead nice.
For the latte. So why you went for a latte because you're driving in it? Would you
Yeah,
have chose a stronger beverage if you was staying over?
Yeah.
What would you have went for? Gin and tonic, is it?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
But no, that's such a long drive back to Suffolk.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to sober up in the middle of the
No, you don't want to be
drive.
hungover for the last 2 hours, do you?
If you're gonna do it, pre-plan. Only drunk drive for a couple hours because you're gonna have to top up with booze.
Find the half-life of the alcohol and then whatever that is. Yeah.
Get a hotel.
Is it gin that's meant to make you emotional?
It does.
Does it? Yeah.
It makes me hungry too. It's
okay.
It's weed for drunks.
Oh, right. Okay. So you
Yeah.
get the munchies off gin.
Oh, and right now, are you guys vegetarians?
We was.
You were. See, this is a great time to be off the wagon.
Yeah.
Have you had any spring lamb lately?
No, do you know, weirdly enough, that's the one thing where I go, I don't think I can eat that. Because I was vegan and then vegetarian, and now I'm back to just eating anything. But there's something about lamb that I go, I know, I feel bad about that one. I don't feel, for some reason, I'm disconnected with all the others.
Get yourself an air fryer.
Yeah?
And get yourself
You just listen to none of that. He was like,
no, I'm telling you, these lamb cutlets, they're God wants you to eat them. He serves them on a stick. You look at that and you tell me that's not intelligent design. Barbara Streisand has been cloning her lamb cutlets. They look like meatsicles. That's what they look like.
Yeah, true.
And
Yeah.
they are
Like a meat lollipop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But what I found is the air fryer is because I didn't like lamb before.
Okay.
But you put them in an air fryer and something happens. They don't it's harder in the oven to get them exactly, but you don't even.
Right.
It's like steak too, where they don't have to be cooked all the way through. It's all right if it's a little pink.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is the
for,
season of them.
Real
And
nice.
we've got a little country butcher in
Oh,
the
that's
town.
why it's so good, because you're getting
It
your meat
is.
from a proper butcher on
Oh
a
yeah,
farm.
like
and that.
there's like 7 dudes in there, and every time I walk in, they're like properly butchering.
But the difference is, I'd have to get mine from like Tesco or something. And I
Yeah,
don't
don't
think
get
it's
that
gonna...
shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, there'll be butchers in town.
Yeah,
you
I
just
know,
gotta
yeah.
you gotta find the right guy.
Womble in, yeah. There's a little butchers in St Helens but they do like sandwiches and stuff as well.
Yeah,
And they're so good, the sandwiches.
that's
in
right.
there.
Get a butcher you can talk to,
Yeah.
and they'll even like direct you away from like
There's
not
the
right
off
now."
stuff.
Yeah.
That's been out for a few days, that stuff come over here.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember when I was in Hong Kong, I started going to this, like, it was this little cheap restaurant just for like workers and stuff. Or no, it was Singapore. But anyway, I was getting into these steamed fish, and they were like, you'd go and you'd order, and they'd give you like the whole fish. And they'd seriously like walk through the saloon doors, and they'd swing, and then they'd walk back like in the second swing, and it was ready, kind of deal. Like it's just so like steaming, it cooks the fish so quickly.
Yeah.
But he used to have like a freezer full, and once I started going enough, I would just go like, you picked it, but if you knew you, he'd be like, no,
not that one.
Watch this.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
what was it like gigging in like Asia and that?
oh, great.
Yeah. So wait, have you done Hong Kong as well,
yeah.
or did you say that by accident?
No, I have.
okay,
I
so-
was in Hong Kong when the riots started.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Really? Yeah.
and it affected the attendance of the gig. So
Yeah, I could see
fuck
that.
democracy.
Did you still do the gig? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had to.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Contractually, yeah.
I know. But yeah, it was the tube was shut down, so
Oh, right.
people couldn't get. It was that Asian tour was incredible in that the Beijing show had to be pulled because the communist government, it was right across the street from the communist government thing, and there was a big celebration, and that's when they were like, why is somebody doing something on the big celebration day? The communists don't have many days off. Right. So when they do, they're like, so we had to pull that one, which I didn't mind because I was quite hungover. But the reason I was hungover was one of the gigs, I found this new place in China. It was like a city that I'd never even heard of, but the gig was so good, and I was like, yeah, I'll be going back there sometime soon. Yeah. That city? Wuhan.
Oh, fuck's sake. No way. That's mad. When were you there?
Right before it started. So
is this all your fault?
Yeah. Well, it was the steam bat, and I tell you what, you got to know the guy. He'll get you a good one. He'll go deep into the cave and bring it out.
So you enjoyed Wuhan when you were there? Yeah?
Wuhan's a great town. Yeah.
That's cool.
We had such an awful time in China. We was not
we
prepared.
done it wrong, didn't we?
Yeah, we was really stupid. Still are. Did you have like a translator or anything?
No, but the gigs are mostly for expats. Although
just around China though, was you just mooching around on your own, just sort of?
No. It was like through an agent.
Yeah.
Okay, we mooched. We shouldn't have.
Yeah, that can be difficult in China. But I did find the people were really nice. Now because I was sort of there in I don't know if they've pushed nice people towards me as in like go tell everybody. Yeah, like there was.
Yeah, right.
There was other times too. Did you guys get this on the train where secret police were checking who you were?
No, we were on an overnight train where they had to like check your tickets and that, obviously. But we didn't have secret police, did we? We got like scammed
in bunkers
in China,
and that
like,
on the train.
Well, just people that come up and sort of, hey, what's the haps? You know, what's...
No, we had someone who wanted to like practice English with us. So they were like, can we go for a cup of tea? And we were like, yeah, because
that could very well have been secret police.
Maybe.
They scammed us out of all our money
though.
Okay, that's definitely secret police.
yeah, maybe. Because they were saying we know the police.
Yeah.
How much did they get off of you?
It was only like
700 yen or something, whatever
I feel like our budget was like £200 for the 2 weeks that we was there, which is cheap.
We had like 100 yen a day.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so like because
we were really low on money, like.
Yeah.
So we budgeted real tight, and then we got scammed. But they
were
were going like, "Oh, we take Australian dollars as well," and I was like, "No, you fucking
we'll
don't."
take your
Like, not having that.
How much did you have? Sorry.
We had like 700 yen, I think it was.
£80.
That's it. It wasn't much, but we didn't have any other money though.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so. That was our money for China.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad. Like, we didn't lose hundreds of pounds. But the fact that we only had 700 for the week there. Yeah. We lost all our money for being in China.
How did they trick you?
So basically on
Shell game.
On Expedia or whatever it was, he said, don't be surprised if the locals come up to you and ask to practice English, because a lot of them students.
Right.
And they want to practice in real time and that. So we're walking around starving, looking for somewhere to eat. We've got no money, so we need to go cheap places and that. And these two girls come up to us and they go, "Oh, hi, we're students when we practice." And I was like, just like they said they would on Expedia, remember? So that we were like, we're looking for just like cheap noodles and that. And they were like, yeah, we know a place. So they took us to a bar and then like upstairs through the back of the bar. Because we were just like, I was so hungry and tired from walking around and that. I was just like, oh, thank God we're here. And then we ordered some stuff and it was like, it's cheap, this noodles, 2 yen or whatever, like real cheap. And then cups of tea, yeah, we'll have tea, chatting, all this. And then the bill comes and they go, oh, this is like a delicacy, like ancient Chinese tea. It's like 300 yen a pot. And we've had 2 pots or whatever. So you just have to pay that. And I was like, what? And the next thing, these 2 fellas from behind the bar just stood there just like that. And I was like, looks like we're paying some yen today.
Yeah.
But even that was the thing as well. Even if you tried to like fight them off or whatever, I can't speak Chinese. The police will come and they go, they're trying to rob us.
Yeah.
And then I'm in jail then. So I was just like, take that, I'm getting off. Like, you know, it was the easiest way to get
That's
out of
the
it.
smart
like,
way to do it. Just give them the money. And lesson learned. You come out of it with a story.
Now I trust nobody, Glenn.
Yeah.
I don't trust nobody.
Good. Yeah. Good. Now you're ready for life.
Yeah, they took a picture of us and everything. It was, you know, because we all look the same, don't we?
Yeah, so don't scam them ones again. Yeah.
Yeah, it was proper bad, awful.
I'm surprised they let you into China if you only had $12 on you.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean,
well, because we went for like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it was like £2.50 for both of us. So you don't need a lot of money.
No, you don't.
For it.
and we were going like mad places as well. Like,
so we were doing a bit of
didn't go
traveling.
like proper.
No, I'm just saying
cities
at
and
the
stuff.
border they would have just assumed you had credit.
I think we had to
cards.
get a visa, didn't we, or something?
Yeah, but they didn't even have what's it called, currency exchange at the airport. So we didn't have any money at all at first.
I once
and
had
then I had to swap with like a police officer. I went into a police. They're all stood there with the big guns, and I was like, "Hello, I'm a bit lost."
I think I got like some money laundering happened to me as well. Because we went to our hotel, and I was like, "Oh, do you know where I can change some money?" And he went, "Yeah, you can just go and do it at the bank." I was like, "Oh, sound." So I went to the bank. I went to a few banks, and they were all like, "You need this, you need that." And I went to one, and they were like, "Oh, you need your passport." I was like, "Fuck's sake!" So as I'm going back out the bank, someone calls me back over, and he goes, "What have you got?" And I was like, "Oh, Australian dollars." And he goes, "Okay," puts the conversion rate in. He goes, "It's this much yen." And he goes, "This lady's after Australian dollars," and she opened a big duffel bag full of cash, and they just like counted out the exchange money, and I just done hand to hand like currency exchange with a woman in the bank. And then I just went, bye, and just left.
Go stand in that corner where the camera doesn't reach. They just see the cameras go. Go over there.
It's mad. Just a big duffel bag full of cash, like, and just like worked it out, give me it, and then I just went, yeah, thanks, whatever. I need money, so I'm getting off. And then he took it back off me later on. Maybe it was secret police. Maybe that's how they got it back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people knew you had money at that point.
But yeah, so
There's the time. I won't go back.
no. Do you want to wait us with a question off there?
Yeah, it's 7 a.m.
That's not a question. That's more of me walking through the door with my wife. Glenn, that does mean where were you?
You're stood outside, and a hooded figure approaches you and whispers that it's your last day on Earth. They relay all your passwords to you and a memory from when you were 10, so you know for certain that they are an all-seeing, omnipotent deity. They then vanish before you. What are you doing next?
This is where the edible was like firmly kicked
So this is Amy's new list of questions that she wrote in it, yeah.
I'm adding 7 cutlets into the area. the 7 in there will not be enough.
So you're pre-preparing, just snacking lamb until you finally drift away.
I keep some extra cutlets just in the event of this happening.
I'll have 6 for the barbecue and 6 for the event of it.
Yeah, when that hooded claw man comes, I want to be ready. Yeah, and
Is that what you'd have for your last meal?
Lamb cutlets.
Lamb cutlets.
Right now, I'd check the calendar. Go, is it spring?
Lamb cutlets, get them on. It's funny that. So what would you do? Like lamb cutlets are in. How long do they take in the air fryer?
12 minutes.
So for that 12 minutes, what are you doing? Preparing more lamb cutlets, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of the butcher. Out of hours. I have a number I can use. He doesn't like it, but he understands. So I pay a premium, but they're good cutlets, and I don't care. Yeah, I'm probably waiting.
Anytime with the kids, or?
No, because they're going to want a cutlet. I really don't have any to spare. Yeah, no, I'm going immediately to my home to be with my wife and kids, and preparing their poisons for them. Sorry, kids, but I'm dying, so you can't live.
Did you not try and give them any cells to maybe try and clone you?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll get a hold of I'll get a hold of Barbara Streisand and say, could you clone me?
Yeah. How much to clone me?
If I were to do the duties of your dog, could you please clone me?
Would you do any like drugs again or anything?
I don't know. I don't think I would. Just in that those are... drugs are sort of just a way of ensuring you're going to feel a certain way at a certain time.
Yeah,
it's
right.
sort of like, you know...
Like in an hour's time, I'm going to be pretty high. Like,
yeah, but no, like just, you know, if you say it's Tuesday, you go, well, Saturday, I want to make sure that I'm in a good mood. So
Right.
I will pre-order some drugs for
Right,
Saturday.
okay, yeah.
And I think at that point you'd be so emotional. Drugs don't always work either. I found that out in Cambodia when I went to the Killing Fields. Oh. And then they took you to this prison that they used to keep people in before they took you to the Killing Fields. And but I'd had it pre-planned, and all my Cambodian friends wouldn't go with me. And I was like, "Come on, you got it." And they're like, "No, we've been there. You if you need to go there, you go there yourself. You meet us afterwards at this restaurant." And they had we were going to do pills that night.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, like I went, and it's obviously one of the most distressing
mood killer,
things.
innit? Yeah.
And I tried a pill, and
Didn't work.
couldn't get to
Yeah.
there's the despair. Nah, I can't reach it. Does anybody have heroin? Can heroin help? Because I think heroin has longer arms.
Yeah, it's a heavy place to try to have a tablet, isn't it? The Killing Fields of Cambodia.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it at the Killing Fields, but I was drinking beer. There was one of the drinks carts did sell beer.
I'm not surprised. Probably a lot of people walking around going,
it was depressing me.
Yeah,
and so I rarely drink because I'm sad. I drink because I'm happy. But it was one of those ones like, Jesus.
Just take the edge off a bit, yeah.
And an American busload came up, and they saw me drinking beer. And Americans are always weird because Canadians drink beer when Americans won't.
Right.
Like it's sort of a cultural thing. And they looked at me like, oh.
Really?
Drinking beer, and I'm just like, you getting that fuck? Because there's little plaques about how Reagan propped up Pol Pot.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, you think this is bad? Wait till you see what your fucking people did.
Why is there a need to like go and see horrific things? And
I think it's just like a perspective kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's good to see it. It's good to know. It's good to know why we protect rights that we do, because if you don't, those kind of things can happen. And and you say, oh, it can never happen. That's what everybody that's ever been in those situations. And within my own family, there was on my dad's side, we're Estonian, so there's definitely gulags there too. So you know you can personalize these things. Also, so yeah, I mean it is depressing, but it's important. I went to Hiroshima also in Japan, and that's heavy too. The weirdest thing about all of this, because there are it is a tourist destination, and there is a fee to be paid. It's all owned by the same company.
What, like Morbid Inc. or whatever?
Yeah.
Morbid
The Peace Park in Hiroshima, the Killing Fields, and I think Auschwitz.
That's weird that they're all sort of owned by the same thing.
Yeah, and distrustful, because once people have seen all those, what are they going to do next? They're going to have to start another one.
Yeah.
A bigger one, a better one. Everyone's going to want to see this.
That's scary, because that's one way we're going to be involved in, isn't it? That's going to be the one in the future where they go, fucking when them nukes dropped in fucking 2024. That's what this one is.
No, it'll be... it's not going to be nukes. It's going to be like a plague that they release. I think...
thanks, Glenn. You really relaxed me there.
Yeah, no problem. Just have a fucking cutlet. Don't worry about it.
I need to get some cutlets just in case the apocalypse comes, man.
In the same way, like Alton Towers and other theme parks are owned by one.
It is.
And if you buy a pass for all of them, you get like a discount.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a yearly pass.
You saying about Americans being like the hypocrisy of judging you but not knowing. I went on a school trip to Belgium to see like the 100th anniversary of World War One, and we were walking around like where the trenches would have been, and they were telling us about it. And these American tourists came and they went, "Hey, where are you guys from?" And we were like, "Oh, England." And they went, "You're welcome, by the way, for the victory." And then my history teacher was like proper like communist Liverpool. You turn around and went, "Yeah, you died about 4 fucking years too late, mate."
Got him.
They were all like, "Oh, yeah."
Do you know what?
Cool.
I just want to go, mentioning the Killing Fields again. It's mad. In Amsterdam, there was a strain of weed called Killing Fields. And I think that's a real inappropriate thing to do, innit? Yeah. It's a mad name for a weed, that Killing Fields. Yeah. It's what Rob Mulholland got when we went.
I remember.
Yeah.
So
Nitrous oxide called Auschwitz.
What was Japan like? Did you gig over there?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Japan is the only place through all my travels professionally that I've gone back just to have a holiday.
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
I absolutely love Japan. Well, it's like the cuisine too. I love ramen soups, and that's where like you just you talk about you got scammed. But there is ramen places in Japan that are up a thing, and it's just like
little snide alleyways and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's so incredible, and just ice cold beer and ramen, and just go get lost in Tokyo. It's a great. I went. There's a big tower in Tokyo, and I went up to the top of it, and I saw where my hotel was. Like I figured out because it shows you the thing, and I saw that there was like a river that sort of, if I just kept to the river, I would get back to the hotel.
Nice.
So a 3-hour epic journey through Tokyo, just walking along this river, and I found this restaurant, this ramen place, and there was sumo wrestlers in full sumo like garb, all lined up out the door. Like, and I'm like, well, this is going to be a good plan. Sumo wrestlers. Yeah. So I go and I join the end of the line of the sumo wrestlers, and the sumo guys are like, they're motioning to me to go to the front of the line.
Right.
And I'm like, and they're like, yeah. So I go to the front of the line. I go into the restaurant, and it's totally empty. But the reason they're all lined up is there's only 2 seats that they can fit into. So they've got to eat 2 at a time.
That's so funny. That's amazing.
I know, yeah.
At least like you haven't put no weight on, and that when they go on, you can go in, you can have a normal seat, and you go, oh, actually, I feel quite full to put weight on, but apparently not.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. We went for a walk.
To Japan,
where was it? We went by the Shelfryer River. And there was loads of kids
breakdancing competition
fighting.
No, it was a proper, big
that.
competition. It wasn't like it was like a big crowd, DJ and all that, proper breakdance competition. And we were just on the Shelfryer River, just like, oh, this is nice, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I found a little guy once. Again, I was just walking around Tokyo, but this was late at night, and he was he'd found this little down a stairwell. And there was mirrored, the windows were mirrored so he'd found his perfect little spot, and he set up his boombox, and he was just breakdancing, and like because he could see himself in all these different angles. And this was sort of before you would record that and put it on TikTok. This is just what he did every night. Just
for the love of the game. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Was it safe? Sorry, one second. Was it safe walking around at night and that in Japan?
Very safe. Very safe.
I feel like it's just it's a completely different way of living over there, innit? Like, so everyone seems so disciplined. Like, even the criminals and that. I feel like I've got.
Yeah, you're probably a gigantic man over there. Like, you're safe.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you messing? He got to sit in the normal size seats.
Yeah.
You're massive, and you go back of the line there, big boy.
Oh, it's nice when if you're on like the tube or something and you stand up to get off and
Well, when we was in China, loads of people taking pictures of us and me because just like, fucking, who's this big white guy? Never seen anything like it in my life because it's dead rural.
Yeah. What was your biggest culture shock in Asia?
No lamb cutlets.
Yeah, that was. I've learned how to complain about that in many languages. I just feel they should know. I mean, it's all. It's all a bit, like it's a bit different. One thing I found, the driving, because I'm from Vancouver, and there's an old stereotype about Asian drivers being not very good drivers, and I mean there are elements of that. It's true in Vancouver. It is true, but then when I went to Asia, I found out. Because I mean, a lot of the Asian people in Vancouver are from Hong Kong, or they're not indigenous to Canada. They weren't born there. They'd come over in their 40s or whatever. And when you go to Asia, you find out that they're not bad drivers. That's how everybody drives in Asia. It's when you take that and put that in North America. It's like you can't drive like that here. It works where I'm from.
In Bali, we were on mopeds, Bali and Thailand,
it's
just organised chaos in it. You sort of go, I can go now, and people will just see you pull out and move around you and stuff like that. But if you hesitate or anything, you just need to go, I'm going, and people will see me, and everyone just sort of moves around one another and stuff like that.
It's much more fluid.
It's weird, and it's no waiting. It's just like, just go, and I'll see you and move, and there's just.
But it's sort of it's definitely the Japanese psyche where things that take place in the periphery, you may act like you're not noticing them, but you are. And it's you can acknowledge somebody by not looking at them, or it transfers over to driving too, where it's like, I see you.
It's fine. I'm onto it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
James, have you ever had culture shock when you've been abroad?
When I lived in New Zealand, you went
wonderful lamb in New Zealand.
It's
he knows.
Phenomenal. Just like cutlets on demand.
It's weird not to. That was the culture shock. They ran out once.
Where like my auntie lives, and to be fair, I'd say more so in like the North Island, you like encouraged to go to school without any shoes or socks on.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like
loads of people walking around barefoot in New Zealand in the cities and all that, but I didn't know they'd be like, go ahead,
Maori thing or something. But
I think it's well better for your feet, to be honest, though.
Initially, like after time, but
maybe not walking through cities though.
No,
but better for your back too.
Oh really? Yeah.
But like
your shoes sort of cramp your feet up anyway. They should spread out and that. And
I like. As a white man walking on Lego and stuff is like so like having to walk on like twigs and. Like,
everyone's like just walking normally. You're like,
and you're like,
sorry, wait.
I've missed history. I just spent half an hour walking across the playground.
Paul Smith's got them horrendous shoes where they've got toes in them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, those have been proven not to work. There was a big lawsuit over those. Yeah, they had to give a lot of. If he would care to sue them, he could probably get $50 out of them or something.
I think he's all right.
He's doing all right.
Just bought a McLaren. I don't think he's asked about fucking.
He has to because he can't walk anywhere. Not in those things. That's he still can't get laid. Even with a McLaren, you put one of those shoes out. No.
I want to ask you about. So you got your gone squatching hat on again.
Yes, I know. I need to get another one.
Anything happened in the Bigfoot world that you know of? There's been all these UFO sort of things getting released. What's your opinions on them? Do you think it's real, or do you think it's something to do with the government? Or
no, I do think those are real. But it's the orbs. Did I tell you that story last time?
He told us one last time.
Yeah.
But like since then, they've had like some footage of like the Tic Tac shape stuff and all that.
Yeah, but that would be they're not. You know, they're smooth.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why, even if that wasn't what I saw in New York, it could have just been balloons. But I think that's why they shut all the airports, because they were like, those orbs are back, and we don't know what those are.
Yeah. So no Bigfoot news now.
No.
Do you keep your finger on the pulse with it, or you just
no? The only time I ever get updates is because my son loves Bigfoot documentaries, and I don't know why it calms him to the state but it is sort of calming because nothing is ever going to happen. Like and if it does, if they find Bigfoot, you're not going to find out about it on one of those shows. Like,
Yeah.
that'll be on the news.
Oh yeah,
if
yeah,
they
yeah.
find
yeah,
a
as soon as they
Bigfoot.
found it, it'd be out there. They
Yeah,
wouldn't wait
so
6
they're
months
like,
to produce it.
Oh, come back after the break. We're gonna investigate some of the knocking over there. Could it be big? No, it's not.
Because I already know.
Jerry, the sound guy, slammed a bat against a tree, and now we gotta wait till Charmin commercials are over to find out that once again Bigfoot has eluded us.
yeah. I mean, I do think it was some sort of animal. Definitely, like the story come down through that. I just don't know whether they exist anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's fair. Yeah, there's the ape, the Chinese ape.
Yeah,
that they
there's
do
like
know
8 foot
about.
tall one in it, and that.
Yeah.
Like, what is it called? Like
Australopithecus.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big 8 foot tall ape thing. That was definitely Bigfoot. And the stories have just come down like, oh, it used to live in the woods, but you couldn't see it in the trees and all that. Like,
you know, the First Nations people in Canada, they had a long understanding of the idea that wild man, Sasquatch. They had a bunch of different words for it, but
it was like they were all on, like when it all split, like that same animal maybe got stuck on different continents and then changed, like because you got like the abominable snowman.
Exactly.
Could have just been one of them that ended up there because they fucking fucked off on the plane or whatever. Not on a plane.
But they when the first explorers showed up to British Columbia, it was I think they were Spanish, but anyway, they all had big beards, like white guys.
Yeah.
The big beards. They'd been on the boat for a while, but I think there was a food problems, and that's why they had to come ashore. And the local band the First Nation people that they encountered, their slur terms for them were they either called them salmon bellies because salmon bellies are white.
You're right.
Or the other one, they referred to them as sick Sasquatches.
Oh, so like small, but
because they
hairy
said
and
that's what a Sasquatch looks like, but you're a sick one because you're small. So but they'd have no reason to make up
word or whatever.
They wouldn't make up. They wouldn't call you something that they'd never seen.
That's like. So it was definitely so. I think probably all the same animal though in it, maybe in different continents or whatever. Yeah, mad.
Maybe I reckon aliens live in the sea.
Very well could.
I think that's why we're not exploring it, because it's scary in there.
It's too big, isn't it?
I also think they rule the world.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Would you want to though? If you had like a good life down in the sea, would you care what humans?
I think it's more of a caretaker.
Might be a hobby.
Like every time
like Sims, isn't it?
Well, every time nuclear wars on the brink is when they all seem to show up and like shut down nuclear bases and stuff like that.
But that's what the orbs did.
I think they're watching going, these fucking monkeys are going to blow themselves up again. Go down there and fucking just sort it out, will you? I think it's just like, they're just like a project. Do you know what I mean? Just keeping an eye on us going, they're going to fucking blow themselves up in a minute if you don't go and stop it.
I do believe we're in a simulation though. How do you feel about simulation theory?
Yeah, I've heard it. I hope not. Like
it's more likely
want it to
that
be
we're in
better if this was a simulation.
That's well more money.
To be able to blast things out of the sky.
I wouldn't be paying bills. Why am I paying bills for the simulation?
Why is there income tax? It's a simulation.
Yeah, mad.
I don't know. 'Cause you need obstacles, don't you? All games have challenges in it.
Yeah.
True.
Well, that's why I played video games when I was a younger man, but I cannot. I tried to get back into them, and they're like jobs now. Like, you gotta invest in this. Your guy has to invest in the stock market, and
some of them you have to eat
you have
and
to have
sleep
a wash.
on and stuff now. And that, like,
yeah, if you don't wash, your hygiene will go down.
Yeah,
and then you'd get a disease.
What was your go-to game?
EA Sports, NHL.
James is just picked up there.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I really didn't want to broach the term of hockey because I didn't want to be like, oh, but I'm a NHL 94, 95.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot right there.
Yes,
yeah, we could. Euronic, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But deep down, me and my dad are big Rangers fans, so we would.
What?
Yeah.
You're saying that to a guy from Vancouver.
I know.
And that would be the exact year
that we beat
you
you.
son of a bitch.
We.
We.
Running around New Zealand without your shoes on. That's what you were doing. You didn't help at all.
Sorry.
Yeah, hockey's a mad game, innit? Like it's.
Yeah. Well, the guy where I was talking about, Jeremy Roenick, he was a good player, but he was really smart. He paid, or this allegedly, he paid the guys at EA Sports to make his guy fucking incredible.
Oh, really?
And he is. Like, if you play him
Put
in
the stats
94,
right up, yeah.
oh, you can't
Yeah,
touch it. He's like the best player that's ever played the game. If we are in the simulation, Jeremy Roenick is the finest hockey player ever to have laced on the skates.
Yeah, right. That's funny, that. We were saying before about the hockey and Aussie rules football, and that. I was like, oh, the fights and stuff. And you said they don't really do that as much anymore.
No.
And because maybe the reason for that is because of like all the science that's gone into like head trauma and that they're like, well, we can't do it no more, innit? Yeah. But that was such a. I used to.
Is that going to affect sports in the future?
Yeah.
I
mean, it's already affecting the hockey because a big part of it, like they used to have just people who would scrap on it, innit?
Yeah.
But the main reason they were on the team is because they were hard as fuck.
But it's not like, because it's the playoffs now, they've sort of they've loosened, not on fighting. People still fight in the playoffs, maybe even more.
Yeah.
But the hitting, they let you hit harder. They don't let you hit like that in the regular season. But there's been a few hits that holy shit, it's 1994 all over again.
It's mad because they're on fucking ice skates as well, just scrapping. It's crazy.
There's the Todd Bertuzzi one where he punches.
Oh, Steve Moore in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yes, he broke his back. That guy never played again.
Yeah.
But
shit.
he did. Todd Bertuzzi played for the Vancouver Canucks at the time, so it's not that big of a deal.
And one of the guys as well do you remember Paul Correa?
Yes,
Yeah, and he got checked and was like concussed, and he can't remember scoring the winning goal.
Yeah, because it was back. It was during the finals, that one, and he got absolutely hammered, and it was back before concussion protocol.
Yeah, so
they were
get
like,
back on.
yeah, they smelling salts of the bench, and he went. Paul Correa, who, when I played ice hockey as a young lad, I made. I usually played like not the highest level of it. But one year I did make a really high level team, and I just was like, do I want to? I don't want to do. I just want to play, And these like that's in Canada, it's
too
really serious. Yeah. It's really serious, and the kind of game I played too, like I was like hitting and stuff. Like you're going up against like big dudes, and I just thought, no, I just want to play for fun. But if I had played that year, Paul Correa, the guy we're talking about. He had he decided he didn't want to play junior that year, so to keep his college, he played. I would have played against him, if I'd played that year.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
and you just swerved it off because you're like, nah, just play for.
Well,
fun.
I didn't know. He didn't tell me. It's only you find out later. Like, oh yeah, we used to play against.
Go on.
Oh no, it's okay.
Oh, it's all right. Go ahead.
My dad volunteers for our local team, and he does the penalty box.
Oh right.
And there was one time where a guy got put in there, and he was just like swearing, like, "This is fucking bullshit. This is ridiculous." And my dad went, "All right, mate, just calm down." And I go, "Don't fucking tell me to calm down." And my dad went, "Fuck you!" Like,
started scrapping on
and
the
then
ice.
The player punching my dad just knocked him out, and he had like a huge cut above his eye.
You can't punch the referee.
Holy
Completely
shit.
fucked him up. Yeah.
No way.
Was that is it like a semi-pro team or?
I'd say like more beer league.
Right.
Yeah.
So I played beer league here in London.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I stopped this year though. It's too far of a drive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's tough when you got little kids too, because it's a time-consuming hobby, and your kids are like, "You want to play with us, Daddy?" No, I have to go and play a child's game. So, I don't have time to play. I have to go play. So.
Feel.
Sue!
Frame.
Exclamation mark.
you know all about Feel Supreme already. They send us good stuff, and it keeps your body feeling good. You've got loads of stuff over there, like the lion's mane. You got turkey tail, cordyceps, all mushroom blends, all do different things. Help your brains, help your guts, help your body.
Brains.
Your brains, yeah.
Both your brains.
Yeah, your stomach, brain.
True. There's a little brain in your heart as well.
There you go. Little brain in my heart. Yeah, you can.
If you want to outperform, are you competitive? You
Yeah.
want to outperform everyone, and everyone be like, "Whoa,
How are they doing that?
what is going on?" Feel Supreme.
Feel Supreme. And you can outperform everybody with 15% off if you use the code TMHC15. Look
Buy
at that.
yourself something nice with that 15% of money that you've saved,
Yeah, or spend it more of it
Invest
at
it.
Feel Supreme.
or invest it in stocks.
Basically, what we're trying to say is Feel Supreme are out here trying to make people feel supreme. That's the name for a reason.
Literally.
They sell CBD, some fine quality CBD. Got a nano mist spray that you just spray under your tongue. Tastes like lemons or something. It's dead nice. You put the lion's mane in your coffee in the morning. You've got other supplements. You've got fucking stuff that makes your balls bigger, gives you more testosterone. I've been feeling that, like I've got well more energy, doing extra rounds in the gym and stuff like that. We've got 5-HTP.
Feeling well better. That's what I've been having.
Yeah, 5-HTP is a natural antidepressant. It helps with your dopamine levels. It's got serotonin in it.
Serotonin in a bottle. Come on, guys.
All that's available over there, and you can get money off by using our code TMHC15. Help support a local business. Help support a local podcast, bringing people together to feel supreme.
This dog's so floppy.
Back to episode.
And which your... We'll hit you with a staple question that we do. What's your addiction? What are you addicted to?
I think we've established that.
What a stupid question to ask.
Fair enough. Go on, James.
What
I'll
am I question.
I'll tell you a funny story that has no question beyond it, but just because I feel bad that I've not answered that question. But I found out a funny thing just last night. My wife told my son, when he was 3 years old, my wife's father allowed him to watch Jaws.
Oh, okay.
And so he's always spoken about Jaws, and he loved it. And yeah, maybe it was a little soon, but the kid loved the movie.
Yeah.
It's only transpired last night. My wife found out because he saw it when he was so young. He can't read.
Yeah.
You know, he thinks that Jaws the movie is called George, and that it's because the shark is named George. And if you only ever saw people, Jaws, like that, and they're like, George.
So you just think it's why are they trying to kill George? Leave him alone.
Yeah, but it's always made sense to him. Like they thought, and he would refer to the shark as Jaws before.
Yeah.
So I just thought he was saying, because he was so young, he was saying George. You'd never think somebody. But the kicker of it all is his middle name was almost George, but because my dad's Estonian. When he was a little boy, his name was Yuri. But when they went to Canada as refugees, that was back in the time. Like, no, nobody here is named Yuri. Can't have that name. So he had his name changed to George. Yeah. So when my son was born, I asked my dad, like, we're gonna give our son's middle name as yours, but which name do you want to go into the hall as?
Yeah.
When they're like, do you want to be a Yankee or you want to be a Red Sox? And he picked Yuri because he's still he had the connection of that he wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my son's middle name was almost Jaws.
No way. That's mad, isn't it?
Adorable.
Yeah,
we had Matt Nelson was talking about Jaws a lot.
It's his favourite film.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Jaws real young.
Yeah.
Proper shit myself when the head comes out the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's scuba diving, he's looking for evidence, and the head comes out the thing. I remember that fucking proper shit me up. That I was really young, like.
Well, I'm of the age where, and this happened with Star Wars too. I only ever saw sequels. It took me a while to ever get. Like I saw all of the other Jawses before I saw Jaws.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't. Jaws is a fantastic movie, but the other Jaws just aren't. So it taints it. I can still. I sort of watch it now with more reverence than, you know. But then with Star Wars, I saw Empire Strikes Back first, and it's arguably the better.
Right, yeah.
It was weird when you were a kid, because, like, all the toys were of, you know, and I wanted the Star Wars toys, but I'd never actually seen it. So you're sort of learning who they all were from the other kids,
right,
you know.
Yeah,
it's just that, you know, I was born in '74, so it's that one little, it's
right.
a weird gap there.
What I don't know if we spoke about it last time, but what's like when you're coming up in comedy in Canada? You started in Canada?
Yeah.
What was that scene like?
Long drives.
Yeah, there's miles between places, was it?
Oh, yeah. Long drives, shitty pay, but good times.
Yeah.
And, I just wish I'd enjoyed it more. I was always nervous and stuff, and I should have realized that, like,
it's fun with it and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's why, you know, Canadians of a certain age, we've all got that sort of really big look at me style.
Yeah.
And
right.
it's because we were playing such rough gigs that you couldn't be
meek and whatever.
Here's something I thought about earlier. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, I mean, like, because they used to disguise the stage, because they needed, the reason half of these bars were having comedy is because they needed it for their cabaret license.
Right, okay. So what did that get them having a cabaret
They could
license?
stay open 2 hours later at all times, but they had to have one form of entertainment every
month. And the
month.
easiest one is just throw a mic over there and let
That's
people
the
jump
thing.
on. Yeah,
so
right.
the locals came to hate comedy night, so they hide the stage.
Right.
And then, like, right when it was time, some bartender went up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's comedy night. And all of you, for fuck's sake! He'd unfurl a sign, take the two ferns off of the stage, and put the mic up. And you're like, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen,
God.
how are you?"
Yeah, that'll mold you into a fucking tight
Shape you
comedian,
into a
though.
beast.
Yeah. So then you come over here and you got real nice gigs and you just fucking smashing through them. You know?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Is Yuck Yucks still? Is that still like a
It
big
is,
thing?
yeah. It's still going. Well, yeah.
Have you been back? Have you been back and done comedy over there like recently? Or?
I did. We moved back for a year, but we didn't end up making it for the year. It's a long story. The men of Canada were just fucking idiots, and yeah.
There was loads of shit going on over there, wasn't there? Like with politics and all that.
No, it was. My wife just kept having bad experiences with these really weird dudes, and I was like, it's not. I can't explain it, but
let's go back to the UK.
What happened? I owned a condominium, and it was a really nice condominium, and like a high rise in a really, really bad area.
Right.
So it was sort of waiting for it to gentrify, letting fentanyl come in and do its job. Kill them. And it was all right when it was just me, a single man.
Yeah, right.
You know.
When you got your wife and family or whatever. Yeah.
And there was... Yeah, I don't want to get into.
No, it's all good. I was just more interested about like what if there was a difference, like if feeling like a bit more of a woke kind of crowd.
Oh yeah,
Vancouver.
Now. Yeah,
is it gone that way? Yeah.
Oh, it was. Vancouver was the epicenter of wokeness long before.
Right.
And yeah, it's why I've got a bit of a like. I was ready for this wave because I started in Vancouver, and the gigs I was telling you about were the ones. Those are the road gigs. Those are the ones up in the middle. But I lived in Vancouver, so you sort of had to have like
So it's always been that like progressive, like even back when you started, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, that's interesting.
But then you'd go to Alberta. And
that's good though. It gives you two different gears in it. So when you've come over to here and maybe you go to a gig in London and you feel like, oh, these might be a bit more progressive, then you go down that lane because you've got that gear. And then otherwise you go to like a Junglers and then you go, fucking here's the fucking the Alberta gear's coming out now.
Well, that's what I was shocked when I came back to the UK after a year in Canada. This last time. I was shocked because the London gigs, because I was used to London gigs in the early 2000s where it was just balls out.
Rowdy ones are
rowdy, everybody's coked up. And like, I almost I almost found it was soul destroying, and what you had to like, it was, I didn't want to be as shocking as they were sort of expecting.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I had some humor that could go down that way, but I didn't want to do it for a full 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was going too far in the other direction. But when I came back to London, to do some of these bits, and people were like, oh, like really like acting like a joke could hurt you, you know, like, but seeing that this was their moment to get attention, and I was like, you have turned into Vancouver and you don't even know it, and you should be ashamed of yourself because none of you are actually like this.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm doing my first gigs in London next month, so see how they go.
I'm sure they'll be good. Yeah.
Should be all right. I think it'd be only every now and then when you get someone who's like shocked and offended.
You're super working class though, so hopefully they'll all be like, well done, you're trying.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe. Yeah, hopefully.
Come down to the big city.
Yes, if I know anything about the middle class of Londoners, they love working class people. Oh yeah, and they love listening to what you think.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been taught their whole lives. A working class person is speaking. Everybody respect him.
Yeah, you're not filling me with hope here, Glenn.
Oh yeah, that's how I got away with it for so long. They don't know. I could have rich parents. I could have poor
yeah, 'cause
parents.
the accent
you got
is just
Canadian
not-
accent. It's like, wow.
Yeah, mine's a bit of a giveaway, innit? Never mind.
Nick Ferry calls it a gravy run. When he
Gravy
goes to
run.
London, it's so funny. He's like, off to London to deliver some gravy.
They don't have it, do they? Think it's mad having it on chips and that. It's mad.
Oh man, gravy is wonderful.
It is.
On some lamb cutlets. Oh, would you ever do that?
No, you don't ruin them with gravy.
What do
Gravy.
you have
Yeah.
with your lamb?
More lamb.
Yeah, the other bit of the lamb that I bought. You know,
Mint sauce?
no, it's especially right now. You like maybe some salt and pepper on it before you.
So you
cook
just
it,
have a
but-
plate of lamb?
No, my favorite thing to have accompany it would be asparagus.
Nice.
Into a
You
bit
don't
of
like asparagus, do you?
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't choose it now.
Makes you weak.
I can eat it, but I
It sure
don't like
does.
it.
It's weird, isn't it? Like,
Make sure you
immediately?
write down that you've had asparagus, or make sure that you remember it, because you can really scare yourself a couple hours later. You've been a gin. Why? Oh my God! I'm gonna call the ambulance. Can you bottle a smell? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this to the doctor. I'll piss on a rag. I'll bring it with me.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you want to go with another
James,
question
there's a
on there?
question.
Yeah, I quite like this one. Is there a song that, when you hear it, it reminds you of a memory?
Oh,
That's a double thing. Remind you of a memory.
remind you of a memory.
I was
The
on
edible's
drugs,
kicking in.
guys. Leave me alone.
It's a good excuse, to be fair. Isn't it?
Memories. Every time I hear that, I remember the time I heard memories.
Any tunes when you hear them, they remind you of memories?
Yeah. What have I been
What type of
listening
music
to?
are you into?
I've been listening to Primus a lot lately.
Okay. That's a bit of a mad one to listen to, isn't it?
Good for driving.
Yeah.
Good, really good.
What's your favourite one?
Right now, it's John the Fisherman.
John the Fisherman. Jerry was a race car driver.
Jerry was a race car driver.
And were known as Big Brown Beaver.
Yeah, my son loves that because he just takes it as like, oh, it's about
It's
a
just
big brown beaver.
Yeah.
That's another gift for him when he's 15. He's like, you made me dance to that and record it. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, man, listen to Primus. Wouldn't have expected that. Not to you not listen to them, but just for that to have come out your mouth.
Yeah.
Primus would have been probably the last thing.
Here's the thing too, because I'm quite impressed with how famous Primus got for being that weird.
Yeah, South Park helped as well.
Yeah,
didn't
South Park did help, but they were already like they were famous.
Yeah.
Like I knew who they were when they did that.
Most
theme.
people, I have to say though, have you ever heard of Primus? And they say no, and you go, they done the South Park theme tune, and you go, oh, you know instantly what they'd sound like from that in it. Like,
so, but yeah, and I was into them at the time, but I've taken a deep dive into them now, and I found out more about them. And Les Claypool, who's arguably the best bass player in the world.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, he's incredible.
That's how I got into them. My mate, like, I used to play guitar and he'd play bass, so he'd always come to me because he'd always be looking for bands with sick bassists in.
Yeah.
So anything like Primus and Tool and all that, it come from him because he was learning them songs. And he'd be like, get onto this bass, and it'd be like tapping on a bass, and we'd be like, whoa, no, who's done that before? You know, like that. Well, so it's just a wild thing to hear. Like,
do you know that Les Claypool, he's from San Francisco, and when Metallica, very early in their career, they flipped their bus in Norway, and Cliff Burton died. And they were auditioning new bassists, and Les Claypool went in and auditioned for Metallica, and James Hetfield went, "You're too good."
Yeah,
like that's how good this guy is on the bass. And I just thought, can you imagine if that was your dream to be in Metallica
you're too
and
good.
you find out you're too good? Yeah. Like if you're not good enough, you can practice.
Yeah.
But what do you just start riding a bicycle without a helmet, popping wheelies, hoping to get some sort
of brain
of
damage somewhere? Yeah, just to get worse on bass. That's mad.
Have you seen the documentary where they get loads of people to audition to
Metallica?
Yeah, Jason.
Was it some kind of monster or something?
Yeah, he leaves and then they hold open auditions for people, and it's like,
oh, you get
so
some mad,
daunting,
like the open micers of rock music turning up, trying out
Simon
for it.
Cowell's there for some reason. If we press this button, it's like a big golden skull, and they press it. You're in Metallica.
We're going to see Metallica.
Yeah.
We're going to Download.
oh, nice.
Dane's on, and
Oh,
Metallica
Download
and
gig.
Slipknot headlining.
Yeah.
Go
see Metallica. Have you performed at Download before?
I did it last year.
Yeah,
how terrible.
Was it?
Yeah. Well,
Can't wait.
They didn't put it in the tent. They put it outside.
Oh,
so
really?
It was weird, and I was on last. So nobody else needed lights.
Sorry? Was there a reason that they put?
Because everybody else had to do something. Oh.
No. Not a reason why you're on last. Was the reason why I put you on last? You know,
I don't know.
Why it wasn't in a tent?
I don't know.
Oh, right.
I don't know. But they were very apologetic. But I got there, and the sun went down before I got on. So I was the first act that they needed lights for.
Right.
And they fucked that up because it was like blinding.
Yeah.
So, and because it was just outside, there was another stage on the other side of these things playing like.
Yeah.
There was a fairground ride playing really loud, like AC/DC and Guns N' Roses over there. And because there was no roof, all the sound just went into the air.
Yeah.
So I got up and I was just like blinded, and I couldn't see the crowd. And I couldn't hear them, so I just did the material. I was burning my vocal cords out because I couldn't pitch how loud it was going.
Yeah.
And I just had to go, okay, well, this is how long people usually laugh at that joke, so I'm gonna give it that, and then just have to go like that. And I did my time, and I just put the mic back in and stumbled backstage. Somebody comes up, goes, "How'd it go?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, that's all,
ask somebody.
Blind, deaf, and dumb up there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it anyway. Hopefully it's in the
they
tent.
put it back in the tent.
Because I heard
It's
it's
the
good because
20th
there's nothing else
anniversary.
on while the comedy's on, innit?
Well, there's
so it's
bands,
on the Wednesday.
Yeah, there's other little bands and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, 20th anniversary as well, so it's
So
going to be a
hopefully
massive
they've
one.
forked out for a proper tent.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Let me just check quick.
Have you got
Patreon
a
questions? Do you want to do another one of them?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's go for Odd numbers or even numbers.
Oh, what are you saying, Glenn?
Have you got a lucky number?
Can I do fractions?
Sure.
Do whatever you want. It's
then
all
what-
numbers, in it?
Yeah, I guess it'd still be odd or even. It'd just be a decimal
Yeah.
involved.
Well, have you got a lucky number?
Um,
Or any superstition at all?
No, but last time I got a number in hockey because I'd gone away and rejoined the team. I had a cool number. I had number 7, but then they had to give me 42 because it was I'd come back,
yeah.
and somebody had obviously snarfled up 7. But
Yeah.
so you sort of like look into 42, or you notice 42 more than you would,
Yeah.
and that is the number from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The answer to
yeah,
everything.
the answer to everything.
42.
all
The
on
Jeremy
you, buddy.
Roenick of
How do we
London
not?
Beer League.
How do we not live in a simulation, Glenn? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you got a lucky
There we
number?
go.
Yeah. 27.
27.
It's the date of my birth.
Oh,
That's mine.
Born
29.
in
Yeah.
1927. You
Yeah.
look good.
twirl the mustache.
I'm going to stop wearing shoes. This guy was born in 1927. Get your shoes off, ladies and gentlemen.
I've got to move my Ford Model T after this.
Yeah.
It's all right.
This giant feet. The toxins are stored in the feet.
Oh, that's what they say with them mad little pads that you put on your feet in it, and then you've got all shite
I
on
got
them in the
given some of
morning.
them.
I
Yeah,
know.
because I went to a traditional Chinese medical practitioner, and they was just like, stick your tongue out, and I did, and they was like, oh, very stressful life, and I was like,
Yeah.
you're right.
Did they get all your yen off you again? Was it the same people? All of a sudden, the two guys are back. You're in Liverpool? Yeah, we've been following you.
Yeah.
So you've got a podcast. How long have your podcast been going for, man?
About 2 months now. Me and Andrew Maxwell.
Yeah. What's the theme of it? Any theme, or
It's
is it
called
just-
Egypts of the World.
Yeah.
And every week we scour the newspapers and just our personal lives for idiots. People who have, but it's not mean all the time. Sometimes it's a celebration of, wow, you
really
made
fucked
a
up
dumb
here?
mistake.
Yeah.
So
like
it's
it.
it's not pure negativity.
Yeah.
It's
Celebrating the stupidity of man.
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you have any that spring to mind that you might have found when you were doing your research?
Oh, yeah. Putin plays a large role.
Yeah, you're a big idiot.
yeah, a lot of he's come into it a few times.
Okay, it's just every week, still Putin.
Yeah.
Until it stops.
Yeah, he's like the Beatles of idiots. We can't knock him off the #1 spot, no matter how we try.
That's funny, that. I like it. I like the idea of it. It's
Yeah,
good.
what's it called, Sarah?
Egypts of the world.
Egypts of the
Yeah,
world.
so the Irish version of idiots. We found that too. That was nice. It softened it to
Yeah, doesn't feel
Yeah.
as negative then, does it?
no.
Puts a bit of a
No.
nice jaunty spin on it.
Yeah. Well, we
Egypt's-
wanted to call it Cock a Snook, which this is to Cock a Snook.
Yeah.
So and that would be like at the weekly news, we're cocking a snook. But then we were told don't call it that because it's got cock in it.
Yeah.
And
People
the
are
algorithm
immature.
will put, well, no,
Oh,
the
yeah,
algorithm
right.
will push it out.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's trouble right now with a guy who wants to make a Scunthorpe United podcast.
It's
And he-
called Skunt.
Yeah,
So-
because it's got cunt in
in it.
Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
He puts the cunt in Scunthorpe. That's what he should call it. He just go full.
Yeah, lean in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it, that you can't even write Scunthorpe without it flagging up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate, that.
We get flagged for loads of stuff, innit?
Oh, yeah, we can't
Unavoidable.
monetize these episodes anymore. They just go,
No.
nope, not allowed. Yeah.
Oh,
You haven't even
really?
seen it yet. It's really wholesome. And I'm like, no, we know what you've done in the past. Someone played the harmonica with the vagina. You're not having any money. Stop it. We did a talent show at like a swinger's house. And one of the talents was a woman playing playing a harmonica with a vagina.
She queefed the American national anthem.
Okay.
It was very patriotic.
Like, there is no trade description violation there. That is a talent.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, it's like you can't.
They wouldn't
unless
cut it out.
everybody could do that.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you if she done it on the telly, they wouldn't cut it out.
It won't
They
make
wouldn't
it on
show
the
it.
telly.
Oh, yeah, I reckon it would.
Yeah.
It was full vag out, like.
We blared
Full
it.
vag.
Well, Zelensky, the man for our times, his famous bit, because he's a comic.
Yeah.
His most famous bit.
It's simulation again, man. How did you get a comedian who becomes president and now he's in a war with Russia?
Yeah,
And he was in a film where he's like
played.
about to be the president or something, and then it goes
Trying to
to war.
join the
And
EU or something
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
film, yeah.
But
Yeah.
his most famous bit beyond that was him pretending to play the piano with his penis. It's like bang, 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 bang. And like look at footage of it online. Like the Ukrainians are just
like it's the best thing they've ever seen.
yeah, I can see why the Russians thought they could take it. 3 days, very easy. Look at this. Look what entertains them. That's who's in charge. It's not just what entertains them. That is the boss. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
yeah.
ding, ding,
That's
ding.
a mad one to have in it.
Yeah.
No way.
Have you seen the film The Dead Zone, which is based on the Stephen King novel, where
No, I don't think so.
Christopher Walken has the ability to like shake hands. When he touches people, he can predict their future.
Right.
And there's a bit where he shakes Martin Sheen's hand, who's like a presidential candidate, and he says, "Oh, he's gonna be dangerous in the future," and everyone's like, "What are you on about?" And when he touches him, he presses like a nuclear button that basically destroys the rest of the countries, and America becomes like a totalitarian state. I'd love that if it was for Zelensky, if someone did that, shook his hand and went, "This guy's playing the piano with his penis right now, but trust me, in a couple of years' time, you're going to want to thank him."
Yeah. He's going to hold the Russians off in the Donbass. With what?
Yeah.
Is
For
Peter's
the
piano.
tune.
I would love that, yeah. If it does reach like a peace agreement, it's because he's playing the synthesizer with his...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in a meeting right now with the Pope. Like, does the
He's
Pope
played the
even
piano
bring
with
that
his
up?
penis.
Like, oh, a big fan of your earlier
I love
work.
that video, by the way. Oh, crazy, man. What a world we live in. Donald Trump's president. He's president or prime minister, whatever it is.
Well,
Just
Leicester won the premiership. That's when it.
That was a wild
That's when it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
went like.
timeline shift, that
Glitch.
one.
That's a glitch.
Yeah,
Glitch.
yeah. There was a big mistake somewhere. Somebody unplugged the machine and then had to plug it back in.
I think it was all to do with that Large Hadron Collider. I think they're fucking about with too much stuff, and they've hit particles, and then we've jumped onto a different
leaked.
timeline or some shit.
Yeah, something's
Something
up.
mad. Because all of a sudden, like I say, Trump's just president now. You go, well, is that allowed? Can we do that?
That whole year was like Trump, Brexit, Leicester,
Mental.
Prince, Carrie Fisher, George Michael,
Yeah.
Alan Rickman.
Mad.
Yeah.
And 2016 is when it reset.
That's it.
Yeah, and Trump is gonna run again against Biden, and it's like, well, they were really old and dying when when it all started. It's like, how are you? Are you still
Kanye?
alive?
Yeah.
I'm very much
Isn't
looking
Kanye
forward.
doing it?
Maybe he said he would, and the Rock as well.
If Kanye wins, then it's broken. Then
Yeah.
then you can do
Well,
whatever you
Kanye-
want.
People
Kanye will win,
vote
though.
just to see it,
See
though,
what
won't they?
happens. That's what happened with Trump.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. Yeah.
You see, you go, what? Trump's running. Let's
I
fucking
had
get
a-
him in. See what happens.
I did have a guilt. I did. Of course, I don't want him to be in charge of anything, but I did want to see.
Well, that's it. It's like I'm a Celebrity, where someone they don't like, they vote for them to eat all the bugs and that. It's like, we don't really like Trump, but let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
He might get assassinated. Vote him in. Do you know what I mean? But like, but I'm looking forward to seeing Biden trying to debate, because they're not letting him debate until like they start. Usually they have like run-up debates or something, don't they?
Yeah.
And they're saying, no, we won't be debating until like the runs starts or whatever. And it's like, but he can't put sentences together.
Yeah, he's fully senile.
He's very
I
much
reckon
fumbling.
Kanye would debate with an auto-tune on.
Hilarious. That'd be so funny. But like, if he's got a debate against Trump, Trump's going to absolutely annihilate him in a debate, because he's an entertainer, isn't
Exactly.
he?
Yeah.
And Biden can't speak properly.
Yeah. Well, it depends what time the debate's at. Like, if it's at 2, right before Joe's dinner, then you'd be okay. But anything after the witching hour, 5 p.m.
But yeah, but Trump's just on like amphetamines and that, isn't he? I think
I mean, Biden is good, and he's been right. Like he's not made any mistakes, any obvious mistakes. I thought.
But do you think that's him though? Or is that a team?
Yeah, no, it
goes
with as a politician, he's a super politician. He's been sort of he's like if you built the perfect politician in a video game, you know, and that's a good and a bad compliment. No, he's not been doing anything out of character that during his presidency. I think he's just old and he gets tired, and that's where you get. But I mean, Trump was saying stupid things. He's old. Like he made comfifi and all that.
But the thing with Trump, you could I thought it was hilarious because it's like, this guy's like can't even believe it himself. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Biden is a politician, so like I look at it in a different way of like, oh no, you're trying to do this seriously, so like. With Trump, it was sort of just like, oh, let's just see what he does next, kind of thing. So yeah, it was like some of the stuff. It was hilarious. Like
I think we just
the gays for Trump thing. That was so funny. Did you see that? No. But he's like, oh, where's gays for Trump? And like this group of people go, where? And he goes, you don't look gay. And like, you're like, what are you saying here? It was so funny. You don't look gay. Like, what?
He is a good comic, but Obama was an excellent comic. I don't know if you ever saw some of the stuff he was doing.
Yeah, right.
He was, he
fucking done the mic drop, didn't he? Like,
he did the mic drop, but he did the press the press dinner, and he was going after conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah.
But like he was like, oh man, I was so proud to be born in America. Doing big winks and stuff.
So the thing is, though, real conspiracy theorists would be like, he's fucking with us there.
I know, he was.
They think he's joking, but we know he's telling the truth. It's mad.
He was really funny when he got going. I think he would have made an excellent.
He was very charismatic, wasn't he, Obama, and that, like,
the great orator. That's what they called him.
Yeah,
that's who they need back. Just bring back Obama.
Yeah,
but Obama's old now too. I don't know if you've seen pictures of him.
Yeah, I mean that job seems to age everybody quite significantly.
Well, maybe that was a theory with Biden. It's like, well, let's get the oldest man in the world. See, it's like when people have when they're hyperactive. If you give them speed, they slow down.
Slows it down. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but it was that was a conspiracy of who's his vice president, Kamala Harris. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, even that's a conspiracy of, vote him in because he's not got long left to live and then she'll be president. And that's the way of getting in, like, a black female president that no one will have voted for. Do you know, like, something like that?
She's not really black. She's Indian.
Well, yeah. I'll edit that bit out.
No, they've presented that as a fact.
Oh, did they?
And then, like,
okay. Well, fuck you
really
for fake news and me then. I'm leaving it in. But yeah, I think that was like another conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy theory.
The one
now,
conspiracy theory I've seen go by, because I follow some of those guys on Twitter, and
I
shouldn't because it makes me mad, but the one that they seem to be gripping to is that Michelle Obama is actually a man. And I saw one picture go by, and it's of a young Obama with a guy that looks like Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
But they're like, see, and I'm just like, even if that's true, that's a wonderful story.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
and
well,
these
two people but even if it was two people that loved each other, and they're like, well, I want to be president, and the world never will accept it. Well, you know what, Barry? Yeah. I'm gonna become a woman for you, for the and
we'll take over America together.
I can do that for you because I want to be together.
Yeah.
There's nothing weird about that. But what you're saying is two people were in love.
But then what's mean is if it's not true, you're going, she looks a bit like a man.
I know. Yeah. But
That's just an insult to her now.
Yeah,
Like,
of course. But
yeah.
if that, like, if you're presenting that as a conspiracy theory of anything other than it's
Love.
just like, it's just
Yeah.
a real great love of
Nice story,
a nice
yeah.
story, and
Why
boy,
would it
if that
matter?
is what
Yeah.
happened, God, I'd read
What a
that
film.
book 1,000
Yeah, what a
times.
film. Yeah.
It'd be such a sweet little thing. It wouldn't explain where the kids came from, but
yeah.
The sex trafficking.
yeah, that's when it got really dark, when they had to actually just farm Barbara Streisand. Actually, that's not the only thing she's been cloning down in Streisand Towers. But other than that, you know what? We'll leave that. That'll be like a director's sort of. we'll film it, but we won't put it in.
Fucking hell. Yeah, there's a director's cut. Well, I think rounding it off at Barbara Streisand cloning Obama's children's a good way to end it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to? So you've got your new special coming out. You said the album. out already?
My album. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, my new album of stand-up comedy is available, as are the 5 previous.
Yeah, and then you
albums.
filmed it also. Is that the same
And
special?
that's going to come out. Yeah, that'll come out in a month or so on YouTube.
Yeah, so go subscribe to Glenn's YouTube and check out the specials and that. And social media is just Glenn_Wool, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure
It's
there's
just Glenn. Yeah, it's Twitter, Glenn Wool. 2 N's in Glenn, though.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Go check him out. Hilarious
And
comedian.
the podcast as well.
Oh,
Podcast.
yes. Agents of the World with Andrew Maxwell.
Weekly episodes.
Yeah, it's very weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is right.
We do it weekly every month.
Yeah. Go check them out and support that podcast and that.
Lovely.
And then keep an eye out for if you see Glenn's name about anywhere, go see him because he's hilarious. James, anything coming up?
Tickets are on sale.
Oh, little work in
For my
progress,
work in
haven't you?
progress. It's called Sorry Mate, Only Just Seen This.
Lovely.
It's at the Shipping Forecast,
Yeah.
Tuesday, 5th of September. 70 tickets up for grabs. 11 have sold at the minute.
Oh, that's good. It's miles away.
2%, I think.
That's
according
great
to
because
this
it's so far off still.
Skill
Like,
Analytics. Caveat, they're all family members. So
Oh.
if you aren't a family
fill
member,
up the front so James's family can sit at the back.
Come
and
on
Kick
down.
your
off
shoes
before.
off. Get on
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we'll get it done
plenty
for
of
you.
lamb cutlets.
We get them in the description and go check them out because it'll be a good gig. That we're on Patreon. Go check that out and all that. And we love you. Thanks for listening. Cheers for coming
Thanks
on,
so
man.
much
Really
for coming on,
appreciate
Glenn.
it.
Thanks for having me. It's
Go
always
check out
always a
Glenn's
pleasure.
stuff, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. See you later.
Love you, bye.